The last thing you want to do while you game. This is the worst thing ever unless you know this secret. So, what's up, guys? Marty here, the Unicorn Werewolf. And last week I wrapped up the end of Splinter Cell, Stealth Action Redefined, and told my stories about whenever I was first playing through the game, and I had some copywriting moments in there as well. Like it took a little while to admire the Stealth Action Redefined as the subtitle, and looked at the box covers, sales copy for it, and I remember how excited that got me whenever I was a youngin'. And nostalgia is always bittersweet because like that game was awesome whenever it came out, and it stands the test of time. It's still an awesome game, but it's always bittersweet because you go back and you like have these memories of it. And I remember my imagination was, and still is, wild and out of control, especially back then. And to see how far video games have come over the last 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, etc. It's always kind of a jar to go back and see how clunky some of the gameplay mechanics were, and that's all right. Back in the day, it was an escape for many, and it still is, and it was a vehicle to unlock and use your imagination to tap into those problem-solving skills and bonus points you got to connect with and uh, what's the word I'm looking for here? Empathize and personify. There you go. Personify as a super secret modern ninja with night vision goggles and a suppressed pistol trying to prevent global catastrophes. And I had so much fun streaming it for you guys that I'm continuing on with Pandora tomorrow. But as I was doing it, as I go live, with the software that I use to stream, my kitty cat just distracted me. It happens all the time. But I, as I was going live on my stream, it sends out a tweet, and the voice actor for Sam Fisher in Rainbow Six Siege, Sam Fisher Zero's voice actor, liked it and gave me the thumbs up. So he gave me the nod. So um, that was a really cool moment. Jeff Teravainen, I think I'm saying that right. So that was cool that he ran across it and noticed it. It was really a bump of confidence for me. It was really special for a lot of reasons that I have explained in those past streams. So if you hadn't caught them, I made a blog at it's called the Unicorn Werewolf blog.wordpress.com. You can go and check it out. I got all the streams from Splinter Cell in there, minus a few. I need to add those in, but you can go in there and check those out. But I was watching the UFC this last weekend with Max Holloway and Calvin Cater. I'm not sure how you say his last name, really, but I mean no disrespect by that. I just don't know. And they had this whole section on Max Holloway talking about his streaming. He's a professional mixed martial artist. He's been a UFC world champion before, has a very good chance of doing it again. And he has his own stream. I think he streams exclusively on Facebook. I'm not sure, but he was talking about all sorts of things. But something funny struck me. He's like, during my stream, I don't like to talk about fighting. Fighting's my job. The last thing that you want to talk about whenever you're gaming is your job. And I couldn't agree more. And see, he was talking about, it is an awesome opportunity to hang with friends, make new friends, bond with his son, and it always be competing. It's like if you're a competitor, you're born a competitor, you're always going to compete. It's hard to turn it off. And it can be a cause of a lot of problems if you don't know how to stop competing in the right moments. But video games is an escape, a chance to compete when your body needs rest, which I was an amateur mixed martial arts fighter. I had a couple of fights. I'm a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu purple belt, and I love to compete, so this was ringing with me. Uh, and another reason I wanted to stream is I just wanted to talk about everything that wasn't the job. I was a personal trainer, fitness coach, fitness kickboxing instructor, and I love those things. Mixed martial arts turned out not to be my career, and my fear about streaming, about becoming a professional gamer, was that I would lose my passion, I would lose my hobby, I would lose my job, or it would become a job rather. I wouldn't lose my job, I would lose my hobby and get a job. But I still wanted to be able to monetize, just to supplement the income in a very passive way, not a very aggressive way at all. And I knew that gaming was something I did on a pretty much daily basis. There are days that I go without it, but I have also, over the past couple of years, invested heavily into business coaching programs and learning the ins and outs of website and funnel building and sales copywriting and saying the right words that get people to take action and build an audience, even if you don't start with an audience. No one starts with an audience, no one starts with a list. And so I wanted to be able to share that with you guys a little bit at a time. Do my Quick Sits podcast, which is what this is right now. Obviously, if you're catching this live on stream, you're catching it live on stream. But if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, you can come to twitch.tv/unicorn werewolf to hang out and watch Splinter Cell Pandora tomorrow. Today, I am going to make it through the first 3 missions of Pandora tomorrow is the goal. And eventually, I'm going to be very soon, on top of running through the Splinter Cell games, I'm going to be going to Rainbow Six Siege. And I was quick story on that, and I'll close. I was playing Siege the other day, and Sam Fisher's in there. And of course, after having played the original Splinter Cell, I was like, I'm going to be a little more Sam Fisher, like I'm going to be a little more stealthy. So I put the suppressor on the SC20K, which is his rifle, and it's so iconic. It's like it's a custom built, made up gun. It doesn't really exist that I know of. I mean, probably somebody's made it by now, but I put the suppressor on there, which is not the most effective tactic in Rainbow Six because you lose some stopping power on your bullets or damage, however you want to say that, but it's a one-shot headshot game, so if you shoot them in the head, that's all right. And coming from Splinter Cell, just playing that run through, it's so crucial that you pick your moments and you've gathered the intel necessary before you actually strike and actually use the weapon. So some of these young guns might have a problem with it. It could be running the MP7 submachine gun or even the SC20K without the suppressor because it does more damage. But you know what? I'm one of the original players of Splinter Cell, and I'm very proud of that. And whenever you are an original of something, you should wear that as a badge of honor. And something that we all have to remember is, going back to nostalgia, it's cool to visit those things and go back, but it's always important that we keep moving forward, we keep adapting, and we keep moving forward with the times. And so there are ways to monetize your stream, but that they're changing, and this process, this system that I'm going to be sharing with you guys over the next weeks, months, and even years is going to change the way you look at how you how you can supplement your income while keeping a high level professional career on the side. Because, again, you have to have your job and you have to have your gaming. This is one of those keep your chocolate out of my peanut butter and keep your peanut butter out of my chocolate moments. That's what we're going for here. And there's an order of operations that I can't wait to share with you, but we'll have to do it another time. So that is it for the Quick Sits podcast. And by the way, if you have not yet, if you want to learn all about how to run a profitable streaming business without ruining the gaming experience or worrying about if your game dies, your YouTube channel gets demonetized, your Twitch stream gets banned, and you want to hear some other cool stories too, pick up the channel guide at gearedupinsider.com/channel dash guide. I will leave that link in the description because it is Gear It Up, not Geared Up, but Gear It Up Insider.com/channel dash guide. So with that, that is the end of the Quick Sits podcast. I hope you guys have an awesome day listening on the podcast platforms, and come hang out live on the stream and let's play some Pandora tomorrow.